We are on the play, and our opponent's playing Storm. Yeah, this hand's great against Storm. Brank Cook, for those who aren't aware, is one of the main innovators behind the Tess Storm deck, the Epic Storm. It's the slightly faster Storm deck. That is the actual Brian Cook. So I'd keep this hand in the dark, but I definitely would keep this hand. We were going to mulligan a hand that wasn't good against Storm. Brainstorm, Duress, Cabal Therapy. Okay, well, we don't care about this Duress since we were on the play. Hey, Petehead. I really care about these. I think I'm going to take the Brainstorm away from him here, actually, because well, he's probably... I'm probably going to have a chance to take the Brainstorm with the Tide Hollow Sculler. Yeah, I'm going to take the Burning Wish away from him here, actually. I don't think he's going to Brainstorm on one. Like, his hand's pretty bad. He's holding the Brainstorm. Interesting. Okay. So maybe I'm supposed to take the Brainstorm there so I could Tide Hollow Sculler the Burning Wish. I mean, this still makes his Brainstorm worse, right? Like, he has to use the Brainstorm to hide some cards now that he wants to keep. So I'm probably going to take a Duress or a Cabal Therapy here. Taking the Cabal Therapy out of his hand isn't the worst because then my Stoneforge Mystic can get the Batter Skull down. Yeah, Brian's a good guy. He actually helped me when I streamed some... what's it called? I streamed with Tuss a little bit back in the day, so... What you got? Duress, Cabal Therapy, Ponder. I think I'm actually going to take the Cabal Therapy out of their hand here. I guess Duress lets them take my thing too, huh? Yeah, I'm just going to take the Ponder out of their hand. I guess I really don't care about the rest of those, so... I know that this is their hand currently. I think we just like play the Stoneforge Mystic as a 1/2. We'll definitely have some more variety in the decks that I'm playing. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna wait a turn on the Stoneforge Mystic because next turn I can go Stoneforge plus get Jitty and play Jitty. So I think that's better than just like playing a 1/2 out for 2. It's like casting Literal Squire. So his hand right now is Cabal Therapy, Duress, Delta, and 1 card I don't know. Probably getting Duress. And if he wants to Cabal Therapy my Stoneforge, he can Cabal Therapy my Stoneforge. I'm fine with that. If he doesn't Cabal Therapy the Stoneforge, we're going to grab Jitty and play it next turn. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he does that. Yep. I have no idea when or where I would have said that. I say obnoxious things like that all the time. Magic cards, please. One of my Planeswalkers would be great. Just any of the Planeswalkers here. Liliana the Last Hope would be kind of mediocre, but the rest of them are fine. A lot of good draws. Unfortunately, we just like actually haven't drawn a spell this game. Brian's hand doesn't have a ton going on right now. But he has Lion's Eye Diamond in place. Like, he could be pretty close to killing us at certain points. I guess I don't have any rituals in the crypt yet, so that's helpful. There's the last card we know about in his hand. This matchup's pretty reasonable for us on average. We have a lot of good tools for this matchup. But a little bit unfortunate here. Now, that's one of the things you're going to have when you're playing a deck without Ponder and Brainstorm and Legacy. It's not going to have quite the consistency that all the blue decks have. Just got to roll with it. We could theoretically be dead here. Evening Burgle. You've walked into a 3-spell 4-land keep, and we currently also only have those same 3 spells. I was waiting to play the Stoneforge Mystic because we had Duress and Cabal Therapy, and then, oh come on, don't kill me. Are your cards like Ritual Wish? Oh, he might go get a destroy target artifact or a pyroclasm here and like kill a Tide Hollow Sculler since it's my clock. That doesn't seem completely unreasonable. Massacre, yep. So he gets to cast his Ponder now. He's going to go ahead and crack this fetch because we're doing it anyways. This takes one off the possible Storm Count he needs, but that's probably not relevant. I think I'd rather just thin my deck. Would love to draw a Liliana or a Kaya here. Gideon, Thalia. The fact that he's through 2 Burning Wishes makes Thalia a pretty good draw at this point too. Although he might be able to go off with Goblins through Thalia for a reasonable amount still since he has the LED and 4 lands. Chose not to shuffle. That's not good for us. Can we draw a piece of action, please? That is... It's finally a spell, technically, but is not what we were looking for. And even Batterskull would have been a good draw there since we just have 5 lands. Am I dead yet? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Good beats. And stop one of the goblins, right? Yeah, he's gonna crack this. And then I wish I knew what the storm count was. I guess I can count it. It's 1, 2, 3, and then Past in Flames makes 4, 5, 6, 7. He's gonna be able to kill us because I cracked my fetch. No, he's going with Ad-Nauseam. Interesting. Okay. Which is like, this deck goes off with Ad-Nauseam a lot, so like it's definitely kind of like the fact that there would have been there's a strong merit to have just like played the Stoneforge Mystic as a 1/2 because like it would have gotten in like 3 or 4 attacks here, right? And like he'd be at 3 less points of life to kill me with. So he hit Infernal Tutor. So yeah, so he's got Petal LED Tutor for Tendrils and kill us. The disruption is just efficient, and you get to mulligan aggressively. So like this matchup, I think I have a good plan. I've been plus positive against Storm on average with this deck. So we get to cut these. We get to cut Liliana the Last Hope. We get to bring in Surgical Extraction and Duress and another Thoughtseize, and we get to bring in Aethersworn Canonist. I'm not actually sure I want both Rest in Peace in this matchup. Cook's deck tends to go off with Cook's decks tends to go off with goblins a little bit more often than the crypt. The difference between the Epic Storm and Ant is that Ant is generally a Past in Flames deck, so this card is generally better in that matchup than it is here. Yeah, I don't think I want to rip, and I think I want to keep. Oh, the Jitty I don't want. These Gideons are fine. The Liliana, the Veils are fine. I think 1 Kaya is fine. 2's probably too slow. 2, a Toxic Deluge and a Zealous Persecution are probably good to have 2 outs to Goblins, potentially. I think this is what I want to do here. I could see an argument for, like, fitting this other Kaya back in, because she's pretty reasonable. Like, makes them discard cards. Like, Storm's a critical mass deck, so, like, once we take a few of their cards away, Kaya can, like, come in and kind of lock them out of the game, while also drawing us cards. I'm gonna cut a Stoneforge Mystic and leave this in. I want to get a feel for her. Yeah, Shiva, look at that. You got there right about the time I did. Stoneforge Mystic is reasonable in this matchup too, though, because like sometimes with our disruption they can't make that many goblins. Huh. This ain't good enough. This ain't probably not good enough. It's got disruption we want, but we actually can't cast this Hymn to Try. I guess we can cast the Aethersworn Canonist and we like just hope to draw lands at some point. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna keep this. It's got 2 pieces of disruption. It's got Zealous Persecution in case they go off with goblins. Yeah, I'm just gonna play the Arid Mesa and pass. On the draw, I would certainly mulligan this because it's too slow. Turn 2 Canonist on the play is probably a keeper. And it's resistant to Duress and Cabal Therapy, because they can, like, I guess we technically can't cast this Hymn, so if we hit a black source, we're pretty resistant. I guess this hand's good, like, if we draw Thalia, we're happy. If we draw a 1-mana discard spell, we're happy. If we draw Rip, we're okay. Like, This is game 2. So you have to thought seize. Yep, dealer's choice. Yep. If we don't draw a thing to cast the Hymn-to-Tark, we'll probably just wasteland them. Usually they're a touch slower in the post-board game because they bring in some disruption. So I'm going to play the Dark Confidant, but we could very well just die here. Yeah, the fact that we have double Kaya might mean that we should mulligan this hand. But worth noting, like, if one of these Kayas was a Stoneforge Mystic, she wouldn't have been any better here. I think I'm supposed to just, like, play this and hope to get a turn 3. Which is probably not super realistic, but, like, we could wasteland them and perhaps not get a turn 3 still, but, like, this gives us the best chance to actually play our disruption. Like, if we get a Black Source next turn, we get to go, like, him you plus wasteland you, and then we're going to be in a really good spot. Yeah, probably, Butterfly. I am many things, but I am not a liar. I'm blunt. I'm borderline obnoxious occasionally, but I am not a liar. You can generally trust me to be straight with you. Hey, look, a Black Source. It's going to be great. Ooh, another him. All right, I'm going to attack with Dark Confidant first here. Let's see what we get. Oh, you know what? If you're looking for that clip, Butterfly, it's probably... I would look in the Landfall Rallier videos. No, they had a thing. I know Brian's got stuff in his deck, so they're gonna hide some stuff here. This actually sequencing the him before the wasteland means I get to take them off their blue source here, which is nice. Oh, I guess they can get a basic island, right? No, they're gonna volcanic. Okay. So they're gonna brainstorm and hide some of their important stuff here. Am I supposed to take them off the Badlands or the Volk here? They probably have more blue sources than black sources in their deck. Hey, Dumbledore with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you. I do appreciate that. My subs and my patrons are the reason I am able to do this as often as I do, so welcome. And thanks. So they hit a couple of things here, so this is going to hit slightly less good things. What do we get? Echoing Truth and Burning Wish. All right, I think I'm actually better off taking them off the Badlands here. I guess this lets them brainstorm again here like this before playing a fetch land, so, like, that's close. Maybe it's right to tag the Volk there. Like, if they didn't want me to tag the Volk, though, they could have fetched an island. So, like, I feel like I'm supposed to just tag the Badlands. And, like, once we hit them with this second Hymn-to-Tark, their hand's going to be mostly empty. And then, if we draw another land next turn, this Kaya is probably going to lock them out of the game. Probably more Volks than Badlands, that's fair. So a bunch of blue. Yeah, the Badlands is probably a 1-of in their deck. Alright, so they're fetching away their Brainstormed cards. And, like, if we're not hitting lands for these Kayas, that means we're hitting spells. And post-board, like, our density of spells that interact with them is really pretty high. So if we're not able to play this Kaya out, we're probably going to be in a decent spot. Is this, like, Massacre to kill my Dark Confidant? They know Kaya is coming. They've seen everything but the Stoneforge Mystic in my hand. Past in Flames, sure. It's kind of scary. Alright, well. Let's play Liliana the Veil. I think I'm actually binning this Batterskull. Am I? I'm going to bin the Stoneforge Mystic. Batterskull's okay. Can provide a clock. Found a use for the second Kaya, right? They don't actually have that many rituals right now, so if their last card's a ritual and they draw a ritual, if their last card's a ritual and they draw an LED or vice versa, we could potentially be in trouble here. They have 1 Rite of Flame in their crypt right now. We're definitely not 100% out of the woodwork here. Like, I would have liked to have found another piece of interaction. That being said, let's find a land. Come on. Land or disruption, please. Alright, sweet. And we found... Alright, well, I'm just gonna gonna play this. I'm excited. Get to down tick her. Each opponent discards a card. I draw a card. This is a concession here. That's why Moto's locking up. Nope, not yet. Alright, during Brian's draw step here, I'm going to go ahead and surgical this Past in Flames. Just lock this up. Alright, post board on the draw, game 3. This is a real shame we didn't win that first one. Do I want an extra Toxic Deluge on the draw? I might want an extra Toxic. Rest in Peace is probably too slow. I think I'm just going to put in this third Deluge on the draw rather than play the Rest in Peace. Because, like, they're pretty likely against these discard decks, they try and, like, put the pedal to the metal and, like, go for it ASAP. And when they go for it ASAP, they often can't generate enough Storm. Yeah, this hand's very good. We might not get a turn 1, though. And, like, that's just, like, what you have to realize. Like, sometimes the combo decks just have it, and, like, you die. And, like, you just gotta roll with the punches. Like, that's what the format is. If you're not okay with that, you really just can't play Legacy. Oh, yeah, turn 1 Brainstorm. So, like, he's, like, one piece away from killing us here, then. And there's gonna be a Lotus Petal to follow us up, and we're just gonna die. Hand's not good against Goblins. I mean, like, if we get a turn 1, this hand's great. Yep. Yep. Like, them's the beats. They're going to go Dark Ritual and then do their stuff. Just, like, naturally had the Adausium. Yeah, Crowbox. Yeah, we're certainly dead here. Like, these are like, almost the only games I've been losing to Storm. Like, game 1 we lost because we just didn't draw any spells, and, like, game 2 we didn't get a turn 1, so, you know, them's the beats. Magic is literally gambling sometimes. Like I said, the opponent's deck on average isn't terribly consistent. They're playing the less consistent, more explosive version of Storm. And I think that's the second time I've played Cook, and we're 1-1 now. And he got a very fortunate hand in that first game there, and then he didn't flood it out in the first one. Still better than center. You're not wrong. Like, you have a reasonable chance. Like, we've powerful answers. That's probably not a good showing for Burgle. This deck devours Ant because Ant very rarely kills you on the first turn of the game. So if you, like, mulligan appropriately with this deck, like... No, they don't play Chance anymore. Howdy, Lavamancer. Good evening. That sounds fine. A little bit mana heavy. I'd be really sad when they're playing Storm as well. Like, that is the one of the faults with this deck. Like, that happens in Legacy just like Modern when you're playing a fair deck. Ooh, my opponent is playing Elves, most likely, and has a slow start. So, just in case they're playing Maverick, I'm going to fetch a basic Plains here. They kept 7. Probably shouldn't keep 7 where Dryad Arbor is your first land. Test isn't even... I've played both. I think Test is a better Storm deck, honestly. Well, I'm not going to disagree with you based on my personal experience. I'm going to disagree with you based on the fact that, like, lots of people have played lots of Legacy, and, like, the general common... I'd be very surprised if the general common consensus that Ant is the better Storm deck is wrong. Shocklands are a big part of that, Burgle. No joke. Evolutionary Leap. Okay, so no idea what my opponent's doing right now. Let's find out. Oh, they're playing weird. Interesting. Okay, let's take the Turtle Witness out of their hand. They're playing Enchantress. Thalia actually pretty good in this matchup. I think I'm just playing Thalia. Nah, I should probably just play another Dark Confidant, actually. I don't think they could do a Todd next turn. And, like the fact that we have Batterskull and Umezawa's GT in our deck is pretty huge towards making Dark Confidant playable. Like the fact that Dark Confidant, like, has these ways to, like, gain him life is pretty big. And, like, this deck's the curve's starting to creep up a little bit here. Like, we've got 9 things that cost 3+ now, so, like, it might be getting a little sketch. Like, Double Bob's a little bold here. We also don't have a Tombstalker anymore, though, so, you know, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. I think red, white, burn, or 3-color. I feel like red, white, burn has to be better, but I don't actually have experience with it, so alright, well. We're flooding here a little bit. Bob is showing my opponent all lands, and they probably think we're pretty lucky, when in actuality, we don't have any more spells. That being said, like, this Thalia is going to be a huge thorn in their side, and we've got 6 power on the table now, so we're going to kill them pretty quickly. Rawr. You felt Rug Delver since the banning of top. What is Rug Delver doing that makes it anything, that makes it not just worse than... They have another Dryad Arbor in their deck? I probably should have restarted Magic Online. We'll restart Magic Online after this patch. Maybe during this match? What are they casting here? I mean, like, the other Delver variants don't play Stifle because Stifle's not particularly good, right? My opponent's going to get to see that I have nothing in my hand. Dark Confidant has been building me a house of bricks. Wouldn't mind another Wasteland here, just any kind of interaction. Thoughtseize, Stoneforge, Mystic, deal. Alright, what you got in hand here? Oh, right, I have to pay one more, sure. Don't really care. Evolutionary Leap, Academy Rector is kinda cute. We were playing a legacy deck called Deadguy Ale as a black-white, Stoneblade, mid-range control deck, whatever you want to call it. Actually, maybe you could classify it as a disruptive deck. Aggressive disruptive deck. So their last card's Evolutionary Leap here. We are playing 23 lands, but, like, 4 of those lands are Wasteland and 1's a Horizon Canopy. So, like, we only have 18 lands that aren't like spell lands, basically. Alright, trying to dodge Elephant Grass here. They're still dead through Elephant Grass, actually, right? Maybe? I'm not sure. I am playing Legacy this weekend, that's why I've been playing a bunch of Legacy on stream. Pretty sure I'm playing this deck. Trying to work out some of the details. We're trying some sweet stuff like Kaya tonight. I've forgotten she was a Magic card that existed, so we are giving her the old college try. 2 is probably too many of her, especially in the main deck, but, like, I wanted to put enough in my deck that I'm going to draw her consistently tonight to get a feel for what she is. It's funny, like, I was kind of vocal about not caring for Legacy for a long time, so, like, people took that to mean I hadn't played a lot of Legacy. I've played a ton of Legacy. Like, I love me some non-rotating formats. It's one of the reasons I latched onto Modern like I did. Aetherform Candidates is actually pretty good in this matchup because they're generally trying to cast multiple spells in the turn. This removal isn't particularly good. Their enchantresses have Shroud. Council's Judgment is stellar. Get an extra Gideon might be fine. Toxic Deluge and Delos Persecution kill their Spell Shield troops. Umezawa's Jurgit is not particularly great. Liliana the Last Hope probably doesn't do enough. I probably want this Thoughtseize in my deck. I wonder if I want these Surgical Extractions, actually. I could see this being reasonable. Maybe I don't want these Hymn to Thorax. Like, the targeted discard's probably a little bit better. Cut a Stoneforge since I'm going down to just Batterskull. I think I like this. I don't actually know it. We're just, like, shooting in the dark here. Mostly, right? Like, their build of it, like, Enchantress isn't a tier 1 stock deck, and, like, even if it was, like, our opponent's trying some sweet things in their build, so I'm just gonna go ahead and submit like this and see how it goes. 3 Surgical might be overkill, but, like, taking, like, their Enchantress out of their deck is probably pretty high upside. Sounds great. No, I'm playing the Team Open in Louisville this weekend. I think I actually have to miss the Nerd Rage event because of the holiday weekend. I think we're doing a family barbecue with the kids and my grandparents on that Saturday. Which is unfortunate. Like, I'd kind of like to play some Legacy, but, you know, family first. We'll see. Oh, Moto, please. Moto, please. Alright. Starfield of Nyx. Okay. Collective Brutality, Green Sun Zenith. Because I don't want to play Maverick. I really like having good mana that can often be insulated against Wasteland and is resistant to Blood Moon. So, like, getting to play 6 basics is a pretty big game, I think. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard below you control. Okay, so, like, Starfield Nyx is a win condition, but, like, we don't have to worry about that for a little while. I think I want to just take this Collective Brutality away. I have Toxic Deluge to kill what they get with the Green Sun Zenith. I think I'm going to take the Brutality away here. Oh, come on, program. Yeah, like, our beater is Batterskull, right? Like, that's our beater. And they draw an Enchantress. That'd be pretty good. Or Green Sunning for 1. What are we getting? Dryad Arbor? We're just, like, ramping up here. Oh, shoot. They are playing Veteran Explorer. So it's, like, Nic Fit. This strange, like, Nic Fit hybrid whatever. Okay, neat. Alright, let's cast Tidehall Sculler here. I'm going to take their Starfield of Nyx away here. Nic Fit is a legacy ramp deck based around Veteran Explorer. This is a 1/1 that when it dies, each player gets 2 basic lands from their deck into play untapped. Let's try and not use that, the word retarded in a derogatory way, and Innova. Please and thank you. If my opponent Green Suns for 1 here, I think I'm going to Deluge. Opponent's deck is definitely a brew. Seems sweet. Wall of Blossoms. Okay, yep. Sure. Have some basic lands. Thalia looking worse here. I'm not actually sure they're playing Enchanters at this point. Oh, they certainly have Recurring Nightmare in their deck. Almost certainly. Like, regular Nic Fit plays Recurring Nightmare generally. Like, Nic Fit's like tier 2-3 at best, right? But, like, Nic Fit generally plays that card. Like, the enchantment-based Nic Fit deck certainly plays it. And we have 6 basics in our deck, so, yeah, Veteran Explorer, come and get some. That's a sweet draw. I would love to take the removal spell out of your hand. They have a Cast Out in their hand. Academy Rector and Cast Out. Hollowed Ace, I'm just here for the Sapphire. Thank you for the continued support and welcome back. I'm going to play this. I think I'm just making an emblem with this. Nic Fit. God, deck names and Legacy are great. In 5 sentences or less, what is going on? Legacy is happening. They get to play green. Could you imagine, like, if this card was modern legal? Like, how much better would our lives be if our Wall of Omens was green? Just, like... Worker Bot's a Hex bot. The Magic bot I have the card command disabled on because it was annoying while we were playing Hex. Somewhere in between Modern and Frontier. Legacy with no islands in play, right? That's actually a really bad draw for us. I'm just going to ship in here and, like, see what my opponent does, basically. Like, we're going to have to attack into these idiots at some point. So this gets us both basics, and this gets them Dealer's Choice Enchantment. Thalia is almost certainly not good enough for whatever my opponent's doing if they've got Veteran Explorers. We weren't quite sure what our opponent was doing after game 1. They looked just like an Enchantress deck, in which case Thalia is good, but whatever they have going on here, it's obviously not. So we're both going to get some basic lands out of our deck. Correct. Council Judgment is our only way to kick enchantments off the board currently. So this gets voided and they get to put any enchantment from their deck into play. I think I boarded out my Swords to Plowshares, right? Yeah, I definitely did. That card's coming back in. Because they have Rectory and Veteran Explorer. I mean, the good news here is we get to play Stoneforge and Batterskull this turn. Pernicious Deed, or do we? That's obnoxious. Huh. Alright, Council's Judgment is even good enough here because I just have to crack this in response. I guess I should have known that was the enchantment that was coming. Oh, please blow this up now. Please blow this up now. My Gideon's indestructible. I get these back, obviously, but my Gideon stays in play. Moto, please. Please. Oh, he could never kill the Gideon, right? This doesn't kill Planeswalkers anyways? Deed doesn't blow up walkers. You're right, Rogue. You're right. And Gideon's indestructible, so Gideon just never dies to Deed. Good call. He gets to cast Gideon out, though. Gets to cast Gideon out. You have 4 cards in hand to cast out Starfield of Nyx XX. Some kind of big, scary fatty here. Got a Green Sun for 1,000,000. Toxic Deluge the night away. Return target enchantment card. Yeah, so we're probably pretty dead. They just get to like to deed us every single turn now. I guess we have surgical extraction, right? Like that's technically a thing we could do at some point. I guess we're bringing in the copies of Rest in Peace to counter Starfield of Nyx. Alright, well, let's just do this, I guess. I'll try and race, basically. I'll grab Batterskull. Rip stops Rector. Oh, good call. It stops Veteran Explorer, too, doesn't it? Yeah, Rip's actually great. Gross. Oh, this is adorable. Cycle cast out with Starfield of Nyx. That's so precious. That's so precious. That's too bad Modern's too slow for that. That sounds sweet. I don't know why it didn't occur to me what was happening until it was actually happening, but that's definitely gas. So long, Gideon, my old friend. So OP's got another cast out in hand, and then 2 cards we don't know. Already drafting a list, right? You may return target. This targets. Okay, sweet. So maybe we get them, actually. Oh, geez. Oh, we're playing cast out. Sure. What are we targeting? We're targeting Batterskull. I'm going to return Batterskull to my hand. So I'm going to play this Thalia out. I mean, he might want the deed. He's not at that high of a life total. I think he'd want the deed here. Yeah, he's targeting Pernicious Deeds, yeah, so I'm going to surgical the crap out of that. Oh, nope. Sorry, so I got to click on myself first and then pay 1. Because I want to activate Stoneforge Mystic. The old surgically extract your Pernicious Deed in response to your Starfield of Nyx trigger. Legacy's great. What a hodgepodge of awkward decks. Just the old double cast out in hand. Let's make sure we click the one out of the crypt there. So this is the most important part. The Dovescape. Let's take a screenshot here so we know what exactly is going on. Sandworm, Convergence, Dread of Night, Curse of Death's Hold. Just what a masterpiece. Alright, well, we're no longer putting in the Batterskull at end of turn since he has double cast out. Let's draw another surgical, shall we? Opponent's a real man's man, right? Is that good? If so, why? It's a good time to draw that. Let's avoid this Starfield of decks here. I vote for this one. Well, we're boarded completely wrong, but we are 10 out of 10 giving it the old college try here. So we know their hand is cast out, and then whatever they drew for the turn now. More basics in their deck. They've got 3 more basics in their deck. They draw a Green Sun. They Green Sun for Eternal Witness here. Yeah, they're Green Sunning for Eternal Witness. Get the Starfield of Nick's back. It does not look like he has enough basic planes to cast Deathscape, but he's got dual lands. Yep, and we are unfortunately out of basics. They're going to go get some more basics here. We did get game 1. In fact, we killed our opponent so quickly we didn't really get a chance to see what they were doing. They looked like they were just like an Enchantress type deck, so that's why we've got awkward things like Toxic Deluge in our deck right now. So we're going to cast... Can they cast Starfield? I don't actually know how much mana they have. Sure, I'm going to activate this. Liliana the Veil. That seems pretty good, actually, right? Oh, she cost me 1 more, right? I know their last card is Cast Out, right? But they're going to get the Cast Out back either way, basically. I'm going to play this and I'm going to Edict them. And I'm going to get my hit in here. Like, if this was a card with a text box, we'd be in this game by a lot. We're down to 4 here. So Cast Out's coming into play. We'll see what he tags with this. Oh, you know what? He could tag the Batterskull with this one and then cast another one from his hand and tag the Batterskull again. Okay, maybe I'm supposed to plus this to play around this line. Because then, like, this, when you have 5, your things become creatures, right? Yeah, I should have plussed... Oh, sure. Yep. I should have plussed the Liliana, though. Yeah, I should have plussed the Liliana here instead of getting aggressive because of what's about to happen. Although... 8, 13... Let's see what he does here. If he makes all of these troops and doesn't hit us for enough, we could Deluge. That's actually funny, and we get the Thalia and the Gideon back, and then the Gideon says we can't lose the game. That's kind of awesome, actually. God, what a weird game. What a weird game. Killing my Stoneforge. My Stoneforge Mystic has died. Perfect. Discard this card that doesn't have a text box anyways. Cast your Cast Out in response, please. What would you like to get rid of? So now all their cast outs are 4/4s because of Starfield of Decks. Oh, good catch. I think I have to hope he doesn't see that. I think I have to hope he doesn't see that. I don't think I could beat him for Phyrexian Towering. They're targeting my germ. Sure. So I could return and replay this. I like hope he draws an enchantment. I think that's actually the line. So I can afford to play around. I can afford to play around the Phyrexian Tower by hoping he draws an enchantment here. This is actually lethal, so he has to like chump block this every turn. Oh, he could end of turn Phyrexian Tower one of them and then bring it back with the Starfield. That's cute. That's cute. And now he actually gets the Batterskull. Hot. Good line, opponent. Good line. Alright, so we need them to draw an enchantment and play it or use the Phyrexian Tower. Alright, I'm just hoping they miss it. This is our out. After they did that trick last turn with the sacrifice and stuff, I don't think they're going to miss it, but we'll give them the chance to. Holy crap, they missed it. Holy crap, they missed it. Alright, Godspeed. This is summoning 6, so whatever. Okay. We did it, ladies. Sometimes, like we're just losing that game if that doesn't work, right? So, like, you don't play around things you can't beat. That's our line. We take it. Now we died at Bob. I'm pretty sure all my Batterskulls on the board, right? Yeah, other Batterskulls on the board. So nothing we can flip to Bob kills us in one. Oh, and actually, we have Gideon Emblem. We have Gideon Emblem. Gideon Dark Confidant synergy. Yeah, I cut the Tombstalker from this build because I wanted to try Kaya as a different piece of top end here. These two are lethal together. This is lethal. This is lethal. Haven't drawn her yet. Two is probably too many, but I put 2 in because I want to draw her and cast her in this league tonight. Like, see how she feels. Alright, and we got there anyways. Alright, I'm going to restart Magic Online real quick here. It's lagging real bad. My deck list on Tapped Out is not updated. That takes work. Maybe someday Magic Online will have an API and it'll happen automatically. I will go update the Tapped Out list while this is logging in. I guess that's the least I could do. Kaya is the black-white planeswalker from Conspiracy. Yeah, we should have lost that game. 10 out of 10 should have lost that second game. Not particularly close. I've got one Liliana the Last Hope over the third Liliana the Veil as well, kind of trying to hedge the Grixis Delver matchup a little bit. She's very good against Pyromancer that can often run away with the game. So we're 1-1 in this league now. I mean, I don't think Rug Delver's particularly good, right? Like, the data points disagree with you that Rug Delver's very good. I don't know who you're referring to, Zenderwind. I'd love to play first. Seems very reasonable. Can't cast the double black spells yet, but we've got Inquisition and a Dark Confidant, so it's not to love. We're going to fetch a basic Swamp in the dark, which hopefully doesn't bite us, but I like being resistant to Wasteland. Dino with the cheer. Thank you for the fun points. I do appreciate it. Hopefully this clears the way for Dark Confidant to take over a game for us. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Man, this Liliana the Last Hope's gearing up to be real good. She's gonna kill the Phantasmal Image. She can kill the Silver Gill Adept. Our one main deck Toxic Deluge is just like licking its lips here. Like, I am here, master. Please use me. Yeah, the cheers are great. The cheer cup is fantastic. Have fun never drawing a second. Wow, that's aggressive. Just like snap forced my Confidant. Pitching the Phantasmal Image too instead of the Lord. Interesting. Here's the Cavern. Here comes the Silvergill Adept. Kind of surprised he forced the Bob, but like, it means this Deluge is probably going to resolve, right? If we had a Black Source this turn, we are going to destroy them, just like Liliana plus, and then she could rebuy the Dark Confidant too. Shows us the master that we know about. If we miss here, we still get to play the Thoughtseize, but would love a Black Source. We're probably supposed to redraw with this turn. Jitty and Chalice of the Void. Huh. I actually care about Jitty the most here, right? Almost certainly. Chalice isn't actually that good against us. Famous last words, but we don't actually have that many ones, and we've played 2 of them already. It'll be annoying that we like don't have plows and stuff. Now I'm not going to cycle this because I would like to cast Toxic Deluge next turn, I think. And it's important to keep their board in check. I take too many hits, like with this Horizon Canopy, the Deluge costing me life, I'm just not going to be able to play them. Huh. The Thalia, like, technically holds them at bay, but I think I'm just supposed to Deluge for 2 here. It's going to be a little conservative. So if they go Lord into Chalice, if they drew a Lord, we're going to be a little bit annoyed. I guess True Name's got a bad first 2 right now. Alright, they're just doing this plus playing the Chalice. That's good for us. Sure. Oh, that's blocked. Mutavaults at least. Oh. God, what a combo deck we're playing. Huh. Huh. I feel like Zaki that to draw is greedy. Just gonna pass for now. Marsh Flat's fantastic. Am I hemming them here? I feel like I should just hem them here. I don't know what they could be holding. It's probably just lands, right? Maybe Spell Pierce, maybe? Oh, they have a bounce target. Yeah, Harbinger. Okay, sure. Aether. What a combo. Yeah, I probably should just play the Liliana there and plussed it. Either Liliana. It's a good draw. I think we 10 out of 10 just want to get this going. Let's grab Batter Skull. Yeah, but like he can't Spell Pierce us because of the Chalice. I guess we could have gotten Dazed. They fire up the Mutavaults here. If they drew a Lord, we're in trouble. We don't have to play around Vapor Stag, which is nice. Yeah, both Cavern are on Merfolk. Honestly, maybe I'm supposed to grab Jitty there. I feel like Battleskull is going to be more life faster. Wasteland's a great draw since they have a Mutavault in play still. I'm just going to be conservative and keep this Thalia back. Nah, I'm just going to attack. I'm just going to attack. We've got a Wasteland and a Batterskull here, so I think the Wasteland means we get to just ship it in. Not feel bad about ourselves. So they're hoping to peel another True Name here. Which no True Name this turn probably means we're winning the game. Is she good? If so, why? Glad we didn't Wasteland since we had a 5 drop to draw basically. Oh, geez, their last card is Force? Seriously? Man. Okay, that's fine, I guess. That's so sad! That's so sad! She got countered! Maybe I'm supposed to lead a Lily out of there? It doesn't matter. Like, if they don't draw True Name here ASAP, they're pretty dead. Could also just draw that. We're putting it in with Stone Forge. It makes it cost less. Concession? Is this a concession lockup here? Feels like a concession lockup. Yeah. All right. So we're cutting all the 1-mana discard because of Chalice. Bringing in the second Batter Skull. Persecution's fine. Council's Judgment is great. Fatal Push. I think I want to keep the 1-mana removal. We have another Toxic Deluge in here as well. I want to cut. I don't think this is an Ally of Zendikar matchup. I guess they don't play Spreading Season Legacy, so like Ally of Zendikar just like pumps out blockers. Maybe Hymn to Torak isn't good enough. Just like it doesn't attack and block. They vomit their hand out pretty quickly. I think I'd buy this for $1. Kaya can like fog stuff. I don't think she's worse than, or I don't think she's worse than these other things we have access to right now. Like, is she worse than this Gideon? Is that the logic? I could see her being worse than the Gideon. Like in Legacy, what she's doing. She's my anti-Mind Sculptor card, Ryan. She might be worse than Gideon, but I want to try her. She comes down and she 2-for-1s your opponent immediately, and then she could 2-for-1 again the following turn. I mean, it depends on how much you're behind on board by, right? Like, you could play Kaya and then, like, take out one of their creatures for a turn cycle and then possibly catch back up. This hand seems pretty terrible. Oh, you know, I left all my Thalias in. I probably should have boarded one of those out at least. They don't. If my opponent doesn't care about Thalia, I like to board it out. Yeah. This is why mulliganing in Magic sucks, and you should never mulligan. Just like, never mulligan in Magic. Just like, get the statistically unkeepable 6 every time. God, Hex is so great. Their opening hands algorithm is fantastic. It's got Jitty, get a Batter Skull, I guess. Please play Chalice of the Void. Rats. Curse Catcher, sure. Is that good? If so, why? I'm just gonna get Batter Skull here, I think. I have a hard time racing Batter Skull if they don't have nice Wasteland. If they don't have True Diagnosis. I'm pretty sure I'm playing this weekend, Dan. Sure. You have a Dismember? Does not look like they have a Dismember. Sure. Would love a Black Source so we could stick this Lily on the Last Hope. Ding. I think I'm just supposed to do this now. Well, I can't get before they wasteland me. So I'll give this -2, -1. I'm gonna hold this back to block their Hearse Catcher. This matchup seems like it's pretty good for us on average. Like, we've got a lot of basics to not care about their disruption too much. We don't really care about Chalice of the Void. That card's kind of annoying. They have a land here? They don't have a land. That's good for us. Actually in a great spot now, right? Wow, this Liliana the Last Hope is just like sticking it in him here. Can you say thank you, sir? May I have another? Man. Okay, they can guess your name now, but we have Zealous Persecution. They have another true name here that would be that we could be penalized for not waiting, but they could also potentially have a Phantasmal Image. I guess Phantasmal Image would have killed too. I really don't want them to get this Jitty online though. No, if they have another true name here, we could be in trouble still. So I was hoping you draw Wasteland to take them off this cavern, but no true name, they are dead. So, man. Last Hope punched the clock and went to work there. I think the split on her seems good. I don't know about Kaya, but like with the Pyromancer deck in the format, I think one Last Hope sounds great. It gives us like increased threat density too, like rebuying Dark Confidants and stuff. Seems sweet. You've got some expensive stuff. You just have to like mulligan accordingly in the matchups where like you know you're gonna get beat down. And the mana curve might be creeping up too high. I'm almost certain that 2 Kaya is too many. I just wanted to have 2 of her for this league tonight because I want to draw her to see if she's, like, actually worth her text box. Like, I could see what could be a good reality. I could see just boarding 1 Kaya for the Mind Sculptor matchup and, like, play the 4th Thoughtseize in the Gideon main, or play the 4th Thoughtseize in the 2nd Fatal Push main, just like drag the curve down a little bit. I think I like 4th Thoughtseize Gideon, but like I said, I just want to like draw Kaya in games of Magic this evening so I can see how she feels. I think the first copy is fine against the blue Stoneblade decks are some of the harder matchups for this type of deck. So, like, you want extra cards to help grind there, and I think, like, Kaya and Gideon Ally of Zendikar are just, like, some of our best tools possible for that. Yeah, so, like, against the Esper matchups and the matchups where, like, Kaya, I'm expecting her to be good, I'm going to board the Thalias out. I think Thalia's just, like, a reasonable game 1 card, but you board her out a lot in this deck, because we do have a lot of non-creature spells, so she's, like, kind of a non-bo with what we're doing, but in the matches where she's worse for us than she is for our opponent, you can just board her out. I'd prefer to hedge Storm in general, especially right now in the format. I think Storm's really well positioned, so I want to be well positioned against Storm. Thalia also like randomly steals you games against like Delver in conjunction with our Wastelands, so. While we're waiting for this batch to pop, I would just like to say good evening, good morning, or good afternoon to everyone wherever you're in the world. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a TCG player and content producer, and welcome to my Twitch channel, or possibly my YouTube page in the future. If you're new to the channel and you're enjoying what you see, I'd encourage you to show for pleasing that follow button there on your screen. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps other people find my work. If you're really enjoying what you see and you want me to produce more of this content, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first is by subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon for varying amounts. Those support me directly, so we'll spend more time producing content. You can also patronize my sponsors, inkedgaming.com, mtgotraders.com, mtgcardmarket.com, and sparedeck.com. There's discount codes for all those services linked in my sponsors button in the stream information, so definitely check all of them out and support the people who support my content. Yeah, I've got a Deluge main too. I've got 1 main and 1 in the board. I think that's good. Like the Grixis Delver matchup really pivots on whether or not you can draw that card. So giving yourself the ability to draw it in all 3 games seems great. Are you sure it isn't 4 Cs? All the Stoneblade decks in Shard list to play 4 Cs before 1 IRK. Yeah, maybe Ryan. And like I said, like it's possible I just want like 6 1-mana discard spells main. Very possible I just want 6 1-mana discard spells in the main deck. I mentioned my YouTube page a little bit earlier. If you didn't catch all of tonight's stream, or after I'm done streaming, if you want to see more matches with this Deadguy Ale deck, you should definitely check out my YouTube archive. Because I don't stream with music, 100% of my streams get archived there, so you can check them out. Holy crap, we have a keepable 7, and my opponent's going to turn 1 us. God bless. First keepable 7 all night, almost. Gonna die on turn 1. Welcome to Legacy. Enjoy your stay. They have another piece of fast mana? They need 1 more mana for this, right? Alright, we didn't die on 1, I don't think. Plow your Painter Servant. Go. Resolves. There was a Painter Servant. There was a Painter Servant, and then it became a farmer. It reconsidered its life choices. Probably losing my Bob here. Yeah, it's my pressure, and it generates cards for me. You have another discard spell? Another Painters? Vampire Hexmage. Alright, my opponent's just like all in 2 different directions. All classic, all in 2 different directions. Love it. So I'm going to, since I drew the Stoneforge, I'm going to Thought Seize them and then play the Stoneforge Mystic here. Good lord, they've just got like watch them draw Reanimate now. Holy crap. What have I done? What have I done? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You could argue that mistakes have been made. You could argue that mistakes have been made. Alright. Go, I guess. Yep. Yep. Oh, okay. Alright, drawing Swords of Plowshares here is excellent. Just gonna play this out and pass now. Legacy's great. I would just like the record to reflect the Legacy is great. Activate this. Reanimator, Dark Depths, Grindstone, Dot Deck, yep, Lotus Petals, Dark Rituals. It's like, what? What is going on? Do we have Surgical in our board? So, right? It feels like that sometimes. Yeah, I guess I'm just like Liliana down ticking here, right? Oh! Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, the Hex, they get to Hexmage Lily. Okay, so I should have plowed the Hexmage. I should have plowed the Hexmage there. That was bad on my part. It was a 10 out of 10 a mistake. We're probably still okay, but it was 10 out of 10 a mistake. Should have gotten the Liliana going. Bob Fadant, don't mind if I do. Are you going this weekend, Dan? Are you playing on a team or playing the Legacy Classic on Sunday? Because you're in Indiana somewhere, right? So Louisville's not too far for you? Can you show me what you got in your hand? Urborg, sure. Ohio. Yeah, there's a Legacy 1K near me next weekend, but I have family stuff I have to do because of the holiday weekend, I think. So things that seem reasonable. These don't seem good. Toxic Deluge doesn't seem good. Last Hope doesn't seem good. Push doesn't seem good. Plow seems great. Extra Thoughtseize seems good. Hymn to Torak seems like a liability. Do I want all of these Council's Judgments? I could shave a Stoneforge Mystic since I'm going down to just the Batterskull. This seems like a fine plan. I think I'm happy with this. This deck feels like it's getting to a point where it boards really well. Like, I don't know if Kaya is good, but, like, if this isn't Kaya, it's a card for the fair matchup, so, like, the boarding's just going to stay pretty fluid like this. Thoughts, comments, concerns. We don't want him because we don't want accidentally putting troops into their crypt that they can then reanimate. God, just like, I would just like the record to reflect the keepable 7s are overrated. Sand's probably too slow. Oh, you know, maybe the pushes are good because they're on Painter. They have Painter Servant in their deck, too. Maybe the pushes are supposed to be in our deck. Yeah, this 5's great, actually. And so, like, one of the reasons why I think decks like what I'm playing aren't super popular in Legacy is that when you don't have cards like Ponder and Brainstorm in your deck, like, the cards you get in your opening hand are really important, which means, like, like, these are most of the cards I'm going to get this game, so you have to mulligan kind of aggressively. You can't just, like, keep mediocre hands expecting Brainstorm to bail you out. That's probably a pretty good draw. So we can only Thoughtseize ourselves currently because there's a Leyline of Sanctity in play. Which this card's pretty good against us. There's a non-zero chance like a Disenchant should be in my sideboard, or maybe just like a third Council's Judgment to like remove troublesome enchantments, but... Just gonna play this Thalia out. I guess he could technically go... Hexmage Dark Depths next turn, right? I think I'm supposed to play the Thalia, but we could get punished for not holding this Wasteland up here. Or the Surgical? Oh, geez. This is actually just, like, super wrong in 2 directions. Okay. Yep. So he's gonna put this Grizzlebrand into play and just make us sad. That was a mistake on my part. Oh, geez, he doesn't have it. That's good for us. Maybe I'm not supposed to show him that. Maybe I'm not supposed to show him that, but it feels good to show it to him. Just gonna put this on the table. Actually, this protects the Thalia, too, which is nice, in addition to... So, Karakas can return target legendary creature to its owner's hand. So... Oh, you're right, JVL. Things ended up working out for us, but I probably should have done what you just suggested. Dark Ritual, sure. I think I actually want a Surgical here so they can't draw a bunch of cards. Oh, and we're gonna get our Dark Confidant into play off this Exhume. This is probably the game. Oh, geez, we get to screenshot this masterpiece. This is the best part about Surgical. We get to look at their deck. Exhume is symmetrical, that's why it's fair. So, this Dark Confidant comes into play. Remember that time we got rewarded for messing up? Oh, you want to leave up the Karakas? Maybe. That's fair. All right, sweet. So we're getting at least a 3-2 again here. Yeah, that's fair, Kent. It also, like, bluffs up... I guess it doesn't bluff plow because we have Thalia in play. This isn't perfect, but it's a keepable. It's a keepable 7. We're on the play. We get to go Inquisition to Dark Confidant. What you doing, opponent? Discard spell into Dark Confidant is like probably a reason to play the 6 discard spell main. It's just like one of our better curves. Discard spell into any 2-drop threat, really, right? Like discard spell into Stoneforge, also fine. Ooh, we're playing against Aluren. God, remember that time? Remember that time this Inquisition couldn't take the Aluren out of their hand? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I feel like I'm supposed to take the Deathrite Shaman here and then play Bob next turn and then Wasteland them to keep them off their stuff for now. That's the ale today. We're currently 3-1. Have not gotten to stick Kaya yet. I can put 2 of her in here and have not gotten to stick her yet. Oh, come on. So much for the best laid plans, right? So much for the best laid plans. We take Brainstorm, they can't take cover. That's fair. I think I'm okay with them forcing Bob at this point, though. Was Deathrite a good draw? If so, why? Sometimes your Thought Seizes are better as Thought Scours. We're going to try not to tilt when they draw the Abrupt Decay here. I might slide out of my chair. No promises. Hopefully we hit a white source next turn so we can play this Tide Hollow Sculler. So opponent's got, 5 of the cards in their hand right now. Got 2 shots at a white source here. This matchup's probably really bad for us. Their combo, does not get interacted with via Piece of Removal. Surgical's almost certainly coming in here to try and break their combo up. Piece of Removal for the Deathrite would also be okay. Alright. Double Wasteland. That'll do, pig. I'm going to pass to them and I'm going to Wasteland during their upkeep. Am I supposed to play another Dark Confidant here? I'm going to offer this trade, actually. Which they're not going to take. So if I Wasteland them, they can only produce 3 mana next turn. So yeah, I'm actually just going to play this other Dark Confidant. No reason to double waste. I have a Magic tournament this weekend, so I'm mostly focusing on Magic this week. Double Bob, no chill. Yep, basically. I have to eat my Inquisition here, technically, I guess. Why Wasteland during the upkeep? So now that they've already played the Brainstorm, it's probably fine to Wasteland now. But, like, you don't want to encourage them to use their match. Like, if they don't Brainstorm now, and I Wasteland their Trop during their upkeep, they're then encouraged to Brainstorm during their upkeep. I don't know. There's, like, no... It does a... I'm just going to kill the blue source, I think, here. Usually they have more bayous than drops. So it's pretty likely they're going to shuffle the Force of Will away here, so I'm going to clear that. They might keep it, but like I think it's pretty unlikely they do. Hopefully we hit a push or a plow so we can kill this plus wasteland them this turn. If we just hit a white source, we can sculler. I guess if we hit plow, we need to hit white source plus plow. Double Bob, no chill. All right, Toxic Deluge, sure. Not looking stellar on this board. Come on. It's the beat sometimes. How many Alurens are in your hand? Of course there's two. Alright, well I guess we take the Imperial Recruiter away. And then we wasteland you. God, opponent's poker hand is way better than ours. If these bobs are... There might be merit to, like, not wasting there, so that way we could try and Toxic Deluge away our board. I'm just attacking because they're going to be able to Deathrite spells anyways here. We're probably going to die to these bobs, though. Huh. Alright, well, them not having a black source is really good for us. So I guess maybe I should have left the Bob. Oh, no, he's not attacking. Alright, God bless. Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob! God, you're killing me, Smalls. God bless America. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing. Bum 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 bum. Dum. I mean, this 7 was still a good keep, right? Just like can't control what happened here. Alright, let's hit land Crow Box next turn. Just gotta believe, right? I believe. These are definitely his win conditions at this point. It's unfortunate for us. And Bob's usually a champ, too. You know, I'm really glad that this is, like, being recorded, because, like, when you tell people about games like this, or they're just like, man, Hoagland's just really salty. He probably drew lands, and it's just, like, not remembering it. Nope, just, like, legitimately just drew 3 cards a turn every geared for, like, the entire game. It just didn't matter. Dang it, Bobby, indeed. Oh, I gotta discard another one, right? We drew 3 cards and missed. Right. Details. Opponent, like, also looks like they're kind of mana screwed, but, like, we wastelanded them twice, and they're not drawing 3 cards a turn, so, like, can we just, like, hit basic planes, or basic planes, Chrome Box, or Scrub? We're dead, right? Just, like, there's no... Oh, God! Oh, we're dead. This is reveals Liliana the Last Hope. Seriously? We're... Oh, alright. Alright, we're just gonna shake it off in the words of a great... philosopher. We're just gonna shake it off and move on with our lives. So Thalia's coming out. Push seems fine. Inquisition seems fine. Canonist is great. Kaya is almost certainly too slow here. Solace Persecution's probably not good enough. Last Hope. I guess it doesn't kill enough of their things. I'm not sure if Deluge is good enough. Deluge is really good against their backup plan, but like it's kind of good against the stuff we have going on too. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe 3 surgicals is too many. Buy that for $1. Let's give this a go. Nerd Rage Gaming has their CTQs, they call them. 34 zero drops. Bob, Dan, speaking from a lot of experience, having played Dark Confidant with 34 zero drops, definitely had double Dark Confidant out in that deck multiple times and still just bricked off and died. It's in Chicago, the Northwest Chicago. Last Hope seems great. I guess she does kill off their crappers, right? Alright, sure. What am I swapping here? Him? Sure. I don't know if this is actually going to submit or not. I might be a little too late here. I guess Leon of the Veil's not that good. Actually, let's do that. It's good enough. It's kind of slow and clunky. This is probably fine. Wasteland's decent in this matchup. Well, our opponent is going to get wasted at some point here. I think I'm supposed to lead a Tide Hollow Sculler here. Almost certainly. Engineered Plague. So that's going to go out human, right? Care about that? Probably care about that. Rest of their hand doesn't do a ton. Could just take the Brainstorm. I'm going to take the Plague. Dark Confidant's just like one of our best cards. Contrary to what happened last game, Dark Confidant is one of our better cards in this matchup, but if we draw it, I would like to be able to survive. So we're going to take the Engineered Plague away from them here. The 110% brought this card in and set it on human. That's pretty good. Is it good enough to play this turn, though? I don't know that it is. Yeah, I probably want to play this. I could just play Canonist. Their Brainstorm's good. Yeah, I probably want to play Canonist. They have a good Brainstorm, we'll just die. Like, why? Like, this is just, like, another one of those cards. Like, why does this have a second point of toughness? And anyone, Bueller, like, why is this a 1-2? It shouldn't be. Not trading this for one of their 1-2s. It's a pretty low value brainstorm there. I feel like when you have double Deathrite and 3 lands in the crypts plus another one in your hand, you're supposed to wait on this brainstorm. Oh, I guess Canada's makes waiting on the brainstorm worse, right? That's fair. That's fair. Aetherborn Canada says players can only play 1 non-artifact spell each turn. Them firing off that brainstorm aggressively is good for us because it means the Sim to Torok is more likely to take things that are relevant. Did they draw Aluren? Nope, just the Strixie, sure. Okay. Oh, right, this is an artifact, so they can play another non-artifact spell. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Always want your opponent's ponders to shuffle. Never not shuffling. Chose not to shuffle. That's not good for us. This is one of our last chances for this hymn. So we can't play the Stoneforge Mystic because we have an Aethersworn Canonist in play, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Took a Baleful Strix and a land out of him. That feels good. No joke, Deathrite Shaman is one of the reasons why Goblins is unplayable. A bad Storm matchup doesn't help either, but like Deathrite Shaman is a large part of why Storm is unplayable. We draw the Aluren now. Leovold, sure. Pretty sure we're just getting Batterskull here. Leovold means that Jitty's much worse. This is game 2, we're down a game. Oh, it looks like we're looking like we're gonna have another 3-2 here. We're 3-1 right now. Look, man, even a broken clock's right twice a day. Yeah, like, Deathrate's a fine power level for Legacy. It's just, like, I wish it was a 1-1, right? Like, I know Losset wanted Deathrite Shaman banned along with top, just to, like, kick the legs out of both the top decks and really shake up the format. Don't Cabal therapy me, bro. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Aluren, sure. Yep. Oh, man. You know how badly I wanted to draw a spell there? Pretty badly. Yep. Yep. I get to cast Baleful Strix for free at my end step too. No, we're one short of that. How are we dead? We have Aethersworn Canonists in play. They can't combo us. I genuinely don't know. It's probably Lisette. No, we played a Wasteland. If we hadn't played a Wasteland, we'd have put this into play and attacked, yes. Attack me for 3. On a scale of 1 to dead here, we're, like, definitely on the dead side of the scale on average this game. Like, at this point in the game. We could pick up, like, a Council's Judgment to, like, take this Aluren out, and then, like, maybe we could start tipping it back in our favor, but, like, the advantage bar is firmly on the opponent's side of the board. And unlike Standard, where Marvel, like, randomly, like, flips the advantage bar around. Ooh, sweet. They didn't play a spell on their turn, which means they probably don't have one. Or if they do have a spell, it's only one spell. Man, is that good? If so, why? It's actually not amazing because my opponent has Leovold in play, and we're not going to let them draw a bunch of cards. We could, like, make our Germ huge and gain a bunch of life at some point. I guess playing and equipping that here means if he trades with my Germ, I can't. I just letting it die. Deal. Dreamstalker. Rude. So Dreamstalker lets him return a creature he controls to his head, which is his Eternal Witness. And then the Eternal Witness will be able to replay next turn and get one of his other cards back. Good beats. Good beats. Leovold seems like fine power level for Legacy. This card's good. So they're going to go... Oh, are we dead? We might be dead here. They get to, yeah, go black, eat, go to 6, and then attack us for 3. If we don't get to gain life next turn, we're going to be dead. Yeah, Baleful Strix means exactly dead. Because they get to eat. GG's, bud. So we flooded out a little bit this game. And we got screwed in the other game. Well, that's magic sometimes. I don't think this matchup is particularly good for us. I also, after having played more Aluren, I don't think Aluren is particularly good, so... Alright, thoughts and opinions on what I have going on so far. I didn't actually get to put Kaya into play against anything useful. She seems real good on paper in the matches where she's good. You take that back. Look, I am just brutally honest in all thoughts on E-Plague. I don't think I want an E-Plague in the deck. I think E-Plague's probably worse than just playing Toxic Deluge. In fact, even when I played Aluren, I was playing Toxic Deluge in the board because Deluge is just like very, very good. I think 3 Deluge is too many. That's why I've got 1 Persecution in here. But I think Persecution's better than the first E-Plague too. Yeah, let's just run it back. Make an entire treasure chest every 2 hours here. Rolling in the mad profits. Compared to the money vomiting we did in Standard Leagues the other day, it's rolling in the mad profits. There's a reasoning for not having Deathrite Shaman in the deck. What problem does this deck have that Deathrite Shaman solves? You can find videos of me getting slaughtered playing Aluren on my YouTube channel. It's linked in the stream information below. I mean, playing Aluren. Spoilers. Doesn't go so well. I like this deck a lot. There's a reason I'm playing it this weekend. But, like, accelerating into the 3s doesn't fix things for us. Like, we want to get to our 2s faster, which is why we've played Chrome Mox before. Like, having acceleration doesn't make matchups that are hard better for us. That's a bottom. Script's pretty good. Just do our best Pox impersonation here. Like, I don't need to get onto the board faster. I just want, like, higher average card quality in my deck. Like, a lot of the time, Deathrite Shaman, like, isn't even, like, it's annoying and, like, it accelerates, but, like, there's a lot of situations where it's, like, not worth an entire card. It's, like, just worth a mana accelerator, basically. Like, if we were still on a bunch of Smuggler's Copters, I could see Deathrite Shaman be good because it can counter that. Oh, look at that Wasteland. It would be a damn shame if someone were to have a way to insulate themselves against that. So I'm just taking one of their threats here. Probably the Delver. And Deathrites have to fight with each other then. I don't think it's hard for us to catch up. Like, we're only losing games where, like, we're stumbling and dying. Like, or flooding and dying. Like, every game we've played Magic tonight, we've, like, had a chance and played. Like, adding Deathrite Shaman doesn't add consistency to our deck. If anything, it's going to help us flood more often. Opponent shuffled their Ponder, played Brainstorm, sure. They didn't play a second land. Weird. Don't daze me, bro. If they daze this, that means they're not dazing the Liliana, which seems fine with us. Watch this just, like, resolve and then help them cast a Big Fish next turn. How do I feel about Sinkholes and Vindicates? I think that's a different deck. I just didn't play the Wasteland last turn. God, it is a Big Fish, isn't it? Oh, good. Thank God. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Alright, what am I doing here? I'm just doing this into a basic Plains. They discarded a Stifle to the Hymn, so I want to fetch around that now. This plays around the Wasteland as well. I think I want to just go up here. Or we're casting another Hymn to Torok. Alright. Sure. So double Deathrite versus our hand and our top decks. It's a good thing this Horizon Canopy cycles. Yeah, but Dan, like, this is, like, the 8th league. Like, I haven't just been, like, doing nothing. Like, this is, like, the 8th league I've played with this deck, and I haven't done worse than a 3-2. The deck is fairly consistent at what it does. Like, the games it's losing are just, like, losing to, like, not getting to play Magic. What you got here? Maybe I should Wasteland. Actually, yeah, I think I should Wasteland and then move to my second main phase and play this. We're gonna get, like, Abrupt Decay in response here. Yeah, the Horizon Canopy seems great. Like, I definitely want a 23rd land, I think. Yeah, that feels bad. Alright. I'm just gonna take them off this Underground Sea for now. Just, like, choke their mana. Yeah, 10 out of 10 should have Wastelanded there and then moved to my second main phase, because then they'd eat something in response. Is that good? If so, why? Oh, let's leave that up. Cast this. I'm gonna go get Batterskull here. They're just, like, hoping I draw the better. Sure. Oh, they wanted more. No, they would have had plenty of mana anyways. Are we getting Stifled or what? Well, I mean, even if they kill... Oh, they're just... Sure. Even if they kill this, we've got 2 lands in hand now, so... Batterskull it is. That seems pretty good. Alright, I'm going to upkeep this Batterskull. Plays around Stifle the best. Classic game of Legacy. Just like, turn 12, opponent has no lands in play. Alright, we're going to put this Batterskull to play at end step here when they eat something. We don't need to play around. If this was post board, I have to worry about, like, Ancient Grudge and stuff. I'd probably still just jam this here, but, like, we'd think about it. I'm going to fetch this out at the end step 2 and get another basic Plains. God, I love basic lands. It's another reason not to splash colors heavily into this deck. Like, getting to play 6 basics in Legacy is great. I am a really big fan of being able to cast the spells I put in my deck. It's weird, I know. It's strange. Oh, God. And he asks himself, how could this Toxic Deluge get better? How could this Toxic Deluge get better? Oh, we could follow it up with a Dark Confidant? Yeah, that sounds like a good win. We're going to attack first here, because Deluge would shrink my germ. Oh, jeez. Force blue card, last 2 cards. Got us. Alright, I'm going to play this Dark Confidant anyways. Next turn, the Dark Confidant can hop into the truck and run my opponent over, hopefully. Survey says... Ponder, sure. Chose not to shuffle. Okay. Red mana, black mana. Huh. Push. It's a little fatal. Yep. So, I think since Bob died, I want to just... is it worth getting an extra point here? It is, because it takes a turn off the clock. I'm going to hold this Wasteland for now. They're going to be encouraged to play out their duel if I don't play this. I mean, like, the opponent's deck does not have a lot of lands in it. What? God bless. The other thing, one of my lists got posted as a 5-0 list from a league, and people were, like, looking at it online, and they're, like, just, like, changing a bunch of stuff without playing it. And, like, one of the things they keep changing is they keep cutting mana sources from it. Like, 4 of our lands are wastelands. Like, they're literally spell lands that just say, like, use your land drop, stone rain your opponent. Like, don't cut mana sources from this deck if you're going to play it. If you feel like you want to cut mana sources, add another Horizon Canopy. A second Canopy might not be unreasonable. Yeah, exactly. Like, people, like, want to play, like, 20 lands in this black-white deck, and we don't have any card selection. Like, we're talking about, like, flooding out and stumbling and dying, and, like, that's a symptom of the fact that, like, we don't have card selection. That's just, like, one of the things that you have to, like, accept as one of the lumps you're going to take when you play this deck. Alright, so opponent's playing Grixis, Delver, Extra Deluge, sounds great. Rest in Peace is wonderful. Council's Judgment is wonderful. Fatal Push is great. I'm not a fan of Hymn to Torok in this matchup. So, like, in general, I'm, like, super conservative compared to most people when it comes to deck building. And, like, almost every deck I play, the very first thing I do when I, like, sleeve it up is I cut spells from decks when they get into my hands and, like, add extra mana sources to them. This is a matchup where, like, Thalia's okay, but like we also have a lot of spells in our deck, so I think I'm going to trim one because she's not so good that I want to draw multiple of her. I'm not sure if this is a Gideon Ally of Zendikar matchup. I feel like it's probably not. I think this is the configuration I'm going for here. The Zealous Persecutions might be worth it. They almost certainly have Pyromancer in their deck, right? Let's do this. I don't think so, Ryan. In addition to Force, they have Gurmag Angler. Like, is it worth taking Fish? I feel like it's worth taking Fish. Like, I'm putting them on Grixis Delver, right? So, like, is the upside of taking Fish worth the 2 hit points? It might not be, actually. Let's do 2-1. See how it feels. Yeah, that's true. I love the rested pieces in this deck, by the way. They're delicious. That's another reason to not play Deathrite Shaman, in addition to not really fixing any of our problems. Can't play rested pieces if we're on 4 Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, Sand seems great, right? All these cards are reasonable. Kai is probably poop, but the other 3 cards are reasonable. This is a great 6. This is a great 6. So, like, this is a pretty critical life decision. Opponent's deck does not have a lot of lands in it, as last game showed. Just, like, do you just Wasteland them here? Do you just, like, run off the old turn 1 Stone Rain you, hope you're just, like, on Brick City? I kind of like just Wastelanding them here. Because I enjoy Stone Raining people for free. I don't really care for Humility. If I liked Humility, I'd play it. YOLO. They didn't flip. They drew a land. That's so unlucky for us. What a tilt. What a tilt. Didn't have the land. Drew it. Yeah, definitely agree. Like, the downside here is not that high for us. Put a stop during their upkeep. In case they flip this to something we don't want to draw, we'll plow them. That way, if they have a Spell Pierce or something, they have to shuffle their card away. I think I'm going to plow them in response here. I don't think I want them drawing a land or a creature. I think I'd rather they draw a spell. So if they want to protect that, they have to do that. Stone Rain us back. Fair. Fair's fair. Fair's fair, opponent. Don't play a Deathrite Shaman. God bless. All the Delvers. Yep. Push. Oh, you know, this was a mistake. I should have fetched a basic plains here. Was this the game we saw Stifle? Yeah, we definitely saw Stifle out of this opponent, right? I feel like I saw Stifle out of this opponent. So I should have fetched basic plains there while their island was tapped. Ooh, that's pretty good. This will probably beta Stifle if they have it. We hemmed it last game. Yeah, this is the same match. They all kind of blur together after a while. We getting dazed? Sure. The second getting into the trials, probably one of these two could board out in this matchup, maybe. I don't know. I guess he's fine. When they only have one threat in play, he's really good. Well, that didn't die. That's good for us. Whoops. Did I say that? So yeah, so when this gets stifled next turn and we want to pitch ourselves off the tallest building, 10 out of 10 our fault. Well, now we can check. Modern right now is the least enjoyable it's ever been for me. I'm not enjoying Modern right now. That's why I'm not playing it. Just for reference. Spell Snare. It's pretty good against us. Got a lot of important twos. I'm going to go ahead and fetch around the Stifle now. That we didn't fetch around last time. Modern has gotten increasingly degenerate and non-interactive since they banned Birthing Pod. No plays? No plays? No plays? Lead on Gideon here, I think. What needs to happen for me to enjoy it? I would need probably them to kick the legs out of like a lot of the degenerate decks, right? Like less enjoyable than Eldrazi Winter. Yeah, like Eldrazi Winter I could play Fair Magic. Like those decks had like obnoxious nut draws, but a lot of those games were like really interactive with the creature-based combo decks. Next turn, I can play this Jitty and equip it to Gideon and swing. How hot is that? Simian Spirit Guide, Phyrexian mana cards, just like all of them are obnoxious and design mistakes. We don't have the tools in that format. What do we got? They might just be Sultai Delver. Abrupt Decay, sure. Am I fetching here at end step? Yeah, probably. I'm already got one Scrubland out, so might as well get a second. The real question here is, do I jam the Batterskull if we draw a land? I don't think so. Toxic Deluge. Is that good? If so, why? We're about to get double dazed. Well, regardless of what we played this turn, we were probably getting double dazed. That feels bad. So we're taking 5 and then 3, so we're dead, basically. Yeah. I guess Gideon buys us a turn. Quick question for you. If you access about, would you play at STG Baltimore? Affinity or Death Shadow, probably. I think Affinity and Death Shadow are the two best. I mean, she's going to gain me life once we stabilize this board a little bit. She imprints the Crow box. Let me get Spell Pierced here. You get Force of Will here. We know one of their cards is a Tropical Island because they returned it with a Daze. Well, they have 2 cards we don't know here. Well, in a world where this doesn't get Abrupt Decayed, we can play and equip Jitty to it next turn and swig in. That doesn't... That leaves us dead, though, right? So that's probably not good enough. Okay. That's probably fetching the trap back out. No. What do you got? Big fish? Another Delver, maybe? Pithing Needle. That's no good. I wonder what that's naming. Weird. That's unfortunate. They clicked on the right. They clicked on the right Gideon. That's too bad. All right. So you're saying there's a chance. Unfortunately, Chromox can't imprint artifacts, so like we can't play this Kaya Ghost Assassin. Oh, we can spell pierced. Can you spell snared? I already showed us one snare. Yeah, multiple snares. That's good to know about. So yeah, huh. Go to 1. Maybe I'm supposed to Kaya there and minus? No, that's wrong. Oh, geez. No, not green meta. Please, not green meta. It's a good draw. This is getting dazed, right? I'm going to -1 in case they have a Snapcaster Mage. Just in case they have a Snapcaster Mage. Yep, sure. Discard a card, I draw a card. Holy crap, are we doing it, fam? I feel like we might be doing it. Part of me feels like we might be doing it. This is why Legacy is great, right? Like we've had so many of these games where it's just like the slogging through it. It's so good. Oh yeah, you know what? It'd be a damn shame if he were to get pushed off a cliff. This game is over. I feel like the good guy is winning here. Ooh, that's pretty good. On the list of cards that could get my opponent back in the game, that is definitely towards the top. Alright, let's exile her. So I want to exile her. And she's going to come back. She's going to come back during my next upkeep. This is the first time she's been in play. She did win this game. You're not wrong. If this game spirals and we lose somehow, this is coming out of our deck. Because they are actually just playing Sultai. They're not playing... Storm count is 5. Just, you know, in case anyone was wondering. Punished. Punished for not having waited on the Zealous Persecution, turns out. I guess we would have gotten another point of damage in on this here too, so we should have waited. No! Come back, opponent! I didn't even get to play my rest in peace. Oh, my Liliana! Oh, I really wanted to screenshot with all 3 of my Planeswalkers in play. Alright, we're going to play one more. It's 11 o'clock here, so I need to get to bed at a reasonable hour. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in here tonight. I do appreciate it. My name is Jeff Hoagland. If you're new here and you're enjoying the stream, I encourage you to show support by using that follow button there on your screen. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps other people find my work. If you're really enjoying what you seeing here and you want to help me produce more of this content, there's a few different ways you do that. The first are by subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. Both of those support myself directly, so I can afford to spend more time doing this instead of doing other things, you know, buy food and toys for the kids, you know, gotta pay the bills. Another way you can support me is just by buying stuff from the sponsors. You're going to be buying Magic stuff anyway, so you might as well do it from the people that help support my content. InkedGaming.com would love to sell you customized gaming accessories. MTGOtraders.com would love to sell you Magic Online cards. MTGCardMarket.com has all of your physical Magic card needs taken care of. And SpareDeck.com will rent you any standard or modern deck from a weekend up to a month. Also, I mentioned earlier that on my YouTube channel, that's linked in the stream information below as well. If you didn't watch all of tonight's stream, it's going to get archived up there. It'll be posted tomorrow morning. Also, if you haven't seen all of our Deadguy Ale streams, I've streamed this deck a few different times in the last 2 weeks. You can find all of the replays on my YouTube page. Yeah, I think this hand's fine. Seems more than reasonable. If we're playing against Storm, we have a Thalia. If we're playing against a Fair deck, we have Confidant and Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to fetch around Stifle. Why the 2-1 split between Liliana? Because I wanted to try it out. Liliana the Veil's pretty medium minus against Grixis Delver, whereas Liliana the Last Hope is pretty good there. I really wish I could play with Kaya in Modern, right? Like, she seems fantastic there. Combo deck? Statistically a combo deck. Badlands is mostly combo decks. FZA Magic with the brand new subscription. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Y'all are the reason I'm able to be here. Welcome. Be sure you check out our subs-only Discord server. Chat about Magic and Hex and cards and life in general. You get to listen to me tilt off when I'm not streaming. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseizing themselves. Okay. Okay, yep. So they have an Exhume for next turn. Well, we tried. Thanks, Kevin. Kyle, I really do appreciate it. K. Smith. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't draw a discard spell or a piece of removal here, so... I think we're doing this, and we're just, like, playing the Thalia out, but we're pretty dead here. That's fine. This matchup's pretty decent for us on average. Their deck's not super consistent, and we have much more interaction post-board. And their Simian Spirit Guide here allows them to cast the Exhume. So we can't cast Liliana the Veil if we draw it here. Maybe that's a reason to actually not have played this. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Dark Confidant there, actually. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to play the Dark Confidant there. Yeah, pretty dead. Alright, so Last Hope is not great. Deluge is not great. Sculler's not great. Hymn to Torok is not great. Fatal Push is not great. Rest in Peace, Aethersworn Canonist, Council's Judgment, Surgical Extraction, Duress, Thoughtseize. Kaya, probably too slow. Cut the extra Stoneforge Mystic when we're going down to just the one Batterskull. Yep, easy in, easy out. Seems reasonable. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything up here. Nope, we don't want him to Torok in this matchup because we don't want to put their troops into their crypt. How does the opponent win post-board? Sometimes they have Blood Moons, but our deck's pretty resistant to that too. I think this matchup's pretty good for us on average. Sometimes they have sneak attacks in their board. Sometimes. And, like, our discard is still good against that. Yeah, Sand is excellent. It's even got the Caracas in it. Opponent mulligans. Opponent's deck is fairly inconsistent, too. Mulligan to 6 and put a card on the bottom. Reveals double Chancellor of the Annex. Alright, well, we are just going to play this Inquisition here to get through these Chancellor triggers. So Chancellor says if it's in your opening hand, you get to reveal it, and then counter your opponent's spell, first spell of the game, unless they pay 1. So we're just going to run head first into that so we can play this Thalia next turn. Yeah, I think so, Yo Cousin. I think that's a good no land deal. Yeah, I'm dead 10 out of 10 playing Thalia on 2 now. Tide Hollow Sculler. Oh. Okay, so they were moving to hand size so they could bin this probably. I think I still want to play the Dark Confidant here because Thalia means they need like a bunch of Spirit Guides, and I can even just plow this once it's in play. The opponent's slow rolling line. I didn't think about that. They are probably slow rolling the line to move to discard, right? But that's fine. I think it's still right to play Dark Confidant here as opposed to the Sculler. They have Reanimate plus Simian Spirit Guide. They can put the Chancellor into play, but we really don't care about that. The old fetch. Surgical Extraction. Council's Judgment is what they saw, so they didn't actually see the Surgical there. Let's Wasteland you. The old fetch the non-basic against the Wasteland deck. Sure. Tide Hollow Sculler, what you got going on? Concede in response to the discard spell. Sure. Yep, I'm just going to run it back here. I agree. I think I want Kaya Gideon 1-1 split for the grindy matchups where I want like this 4-drop bomb. I don't think this hand's good enough. Rest in Peace is a little bit slow on the draw, and the fact that it doesn't have a second land means just this one Thoughtseize isn't particularly good. We have 3 Surgicals in our deck to mulligan too. This hand's a little bit better. Opponent kept 7, which is kind of scary. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm going to bottom not Surgical Extraction. Opponent has a Chancellor of the Annex. Yep. Alright, well, let's Thoughtseize on 1 here. Maybe I'm supposed to Wasteland them, actually. Your deck's kind of light on mana. Because they could just be, like, Entombing, Untap, Exhuming. It's probably Entomb, Untap, Exhume, which means I'm supposed to Wasteland. Nope. Alright. Dark Depths. Huh. Huh. I think I'm just supposed to play this and pass. Now I'm glad we didn't Wasteland. Maybe I'm just supposed to play chicken there and, like, wait. Like, wait for them to do it. So, like, get the Hex Mage, too. Alright, now I'm going to surgically extract this, since I'm going to play the Rest in Peace anyway, so this, like, takes one of their combos away from them. And then, like, Rest in Peace should lock their other combo out of their deck, basically. And look at, there's other Dark Depths in their hand. God! When you feel like a wizard, Harry, just like when you're like, you know, this is the optimal thing to do here on the off chance they have a second one. I love Legacy. Just, like, you don't get this many little edges in other formats. It's like, yep, those are all gone. How about I do this? So I shouldn't have Wastelanded when I did there, I don't think, but it ended up working out for us. Now the Hex Mage is gonna like trade for our Gideon here probably. Oh, they have 2 Hex Mages. Sure. Oh geez, he has a Simian Spirit Guide in his hand too. I actually think I need to actually take the Simian Spirit Guide away so they can't cast it next turn. Yep. Just try not to die to these things, I guess. They have first strike. They do. I can't trade here. All right, what am I doing here? I think I'm just playing this and then taking another look at their hand here. And then we're going to double block next turn. Yeah, we're going to double block next turn. And then we can play this Gideon of the Trials and lock down the other one. My opponent doesn't have... He could, like, hard cast his on-color threats, basically. Is basically all he has to do here now. He doesn't have any way to take this Rested Piece off the table outside of Terastodon. He's going to not die to the 2-power First Striker backup plan. He's going to get his Spirit Guide back here. It's pretty unfortunate for us. Give him a Grey Ogre. Wait, I'm so confused. Oh, they're trying to cast it. Okay, I was like, wait, there's no Through the Breach or anything in their deck, right? Hit a little... My heart skipped a beat there. I was like, oh god, are they casting something? But no, I have their entire deck here in front of me. They do not. They're just casting this. We still have a Batter Skull in our deck, so like, hopefully we can draw Stoneforge Mystic. God, I'm good at this game. Alright, this should lock them out of the mediocre 2-power beatdown plan. This could trade with the Simian Spirit Guide here. So, the key to looking like a wizard while streaming is if you call the card you want to draw every single turn, eventually you will be right some of the time. That's the key. The key is to just always call your shots, and then when you're right, it looks great. I don't have anything that punishes me for waiting here, right? I'm looking at their deck list. Nope. Good evening, Aaron. You're catching us right at the end. This is going to be our last game, it looks like. This is game 3, right? Yep. Put this Batter Skull into play. Deck for 4, so Bob can't kill us. Oh, geez. So they get to... Okay. So they're technically hoping Dark Confidant kills us here, right? Joke's on you, opponent. I should duress first. But joke's on them because I get to Gideon Emblem. Which means even if there was a card in our deck that Bob could kill us with, he wouldn't be able to. Because Gideon says you can't lose the game. Say hello to my little friend, the Gideon. Giddy up, cowboy. Giddy up. That should prompt a concession, I think. Sweet. All right, so we finished 5-2 on the evening, went 3-2 in the other league, and 2-0 to start this one. Really, yeah, I'm set. I'm playing this deck this weekend. The details are still going to work out. I think the assessment, like Yo Cousin said, I came to about the same conclusion. I'm pretty sure I want a Kaya in the 75. I don't think I want her in the main deck, and I don't think I want 2. No, Bob causes life loss, not damage, so plussing on Dark Confidant doesn't do anything. Plus, the Gideon also wears off at the beginning of our next turn, I believe. So even if it wasn't, yeah. All right. At any rate, thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate it. Remember, if you want to see more